So if you watched my video back in November of 2024, you bought Hedera at 4 cents. Congratulations, you're still sitting on like a 5x. And then in December, I did a video talking about comparing it to other cryptos and their market caps and why potentially it could reach $2.80. So let's talk about that today. Does that still apply? But first, if you would, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. There's a join button to join the community. Most importantly, I have a school community where I teach all sorts of courses on everything crypto and discussions every day. I'm in there constantly. Also have a new X account. Now let's get started. I'm Brian. I'm a big dumb animal. This is not financial advice. However, if you bought it back in November at 4 cents, that would have been awesome. So where are we sitting now? We're sitting around 20 cents. I wanted to give an update on Hedera. If you follow my videos, you know I own about 60 different crypto in various categories, diversifying for multiple reasons, not just by market cap, but other reasons. That being said, my number one investment in terms of capital, because I didn't invest equal amounts in everything, is Hedera. That's my largest investment by far. I'm a big fan. I always like to be transparent and let that known. Now, if we go into the basics of Hedera, let's talk about it real quick for those of you that might be new to it. Here's the website. I'm just going to go over it quickly. It's a layer 1. It's let's call it a generic layer 1, like a Swiss Army knife, meaning it's not specific to solving just one problem. You can build on it for many different applications and projects. Why? Well, you see here, it's fast and it's cheap per transaction, and the transaction cost is pegged to the US dollar, meaning you pay the same amount on a dollar basis per transaction. Very different than networks that make you pay in their native crypto, because if the crypto goes up in price, you may pay more. Why is that bad? Well, because you never know how much you're going to pay. Try telling a company CFO that you want to purchase or build upon something, and you have no idea what your monthly bill is going to be. That's probably going to be a no. So you need fixed costs. That's important. So it's a layer 1. It's fast. It's cheap, and it can be used for almost anything. It happens to be what's called a hash graph as opposed to a blockchain. But regardless, here's the other thing that is very unique. I don't think anyone else has this. It's governed by a group of companies and individuals from those companies. I think it's 32 total, their governing council, but just look here at the list and the companies that are represented. If they're on the council, it's like an advisory board for a company. There's nothing better if you're new, like crypto is in general, and you want to get in and start working with various companies. You need contacts to be able to get into those companies. Well, if you can get those companies on your advisory board, you're already in the door. So you can only imagine why these companies joined and what might be in the works. Lastly, let me just say, if you go to the very top, there's a lot when you go to their website, but I like to go to use cases. Use cases gives you a general idea of all the categories that they're in, that they've created solutions for, and or have companies or projects building in that space. NFTs, all sorts of things. Sustainability, customer engagement, loyalty, payments, decentralized identity, DeFi, decentralized finance, data integrity, real-world asset tokenization. What I believe are two of the largest right now in crypto is decentralized finance, particularly real-world asset tokenization. Everyone talks about the trillions of dollars worth of assets, commodities, stocks, real estate, everything that can be tokenized. And they have a solution for that. And if you scroll down, you can see all the various companies involved and what they're doing related to RWA tokenization on Hedera. Looking at what other people have said, I just did some quick searches on X. This individual talking about HBAR short-term having a nice pop on the RSI. Here's another individual talking about it. They think it can get up to about $2. These are people who do charting. All in Crypto, who I follow, he does a great job on his videos and his charting. He's always talked about Hedera, and I think he said Hedera is his number one investment as well, I think, or at least the one he likes the most. And he talked about it getting out of a descending channel lately. The flip side, there's this one individual I've seen, he believes that it's going to go under 10 cents, whereas everyone else is shooting to $2 or more. Now, if we look at Hedera on TradingView, You can see here that we all know back in December of last year, it got up to, it spiked all the way up to, looks like 40 cents or so, and has come down. It's been moving with the market. It's turned around. You can see this volume shelf here around 20 cents. It's been flirting with 19, 20 cents recently. I believe it will continue to take off. However, it doesn't have any real past performance to talk about higher prices. So let's look at it with respect to market cap. And it is currently number 17. This is on CoinMarketCap. And it's by market cap, which is the number of coins that are out times the current price, which is different than fully diluted. I prefer fully diluted when comparing apples to apples. But if we look at something like let's see, actually, I was looking at XRP, 220 billion, and Hedera's 10 billion. That's a 22x just to get there. XRP does not have the amount of partnerships and discussions related to new features and new projects as Hedera does. I don't think it does, yet it has an amazing, amazing community. If you look at Google Trends comparing HBAR to XRP, there's different search terms, Hedera, some people look at Ripple, that sort of thing. But worldwide, over the past 12 months, look at how much more interest, this red line being XRP, than Hedera in blue. It tells me Hedera has a lot of potential. Let's get XRP out of here and just look at Hedera, and you'll see that, of course, last year when it ran up in price, a lot of interest, around 100 being the most interest you could have. Back in December, it's down around a 12. So when the price starts to move, I think this will start to move as well. But what's really nice and telling is how much interest it's had since last year, when it was pretty much just dormant in 2024 until it's took off. And there is worldwide interest shown in this chart. Okay, so back to market cap. I would compare it more to something like a Cardano, which is 30 billion. That would be a 3x from here because Hedera is 10. Or a Chainlink is 15. Or you come up here to like Solana at a 91 billion. Hedera is a 9, essentially, 9 or 10. That's a 90. That's a 10x right now, just to get to Solana's current market cap. And that's a fully diluted value, I should say. And that's when Solana is just at $151. It wasn't that long ago, it was substantially higher. So I believe if the market plays out the way most of us think it will, we still have Bitcoin dominating the majority of the total market cap. Money has yet to move down into Ethereum and into altcoins for altcoin season, like it has in the past. It's looking better and better every day. However, if that were to happen, do I believe that Hedera could do a 10x and get to 90 billion? Personally, absolutely. And its current price is 20 cents. So a 10x is $2. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we could reach $2 or more, just like I was talking about back in December. Now, personally, what would I do? Well, I sell things I will be selling in chunks. I'm not going to wait for that ultimate high price. We all know that the top price, one person gets it, essentially. And as you go higher, liquidity could be an issue. So you want to watch the markets and everything else related to the entire market, particularly layer ones or RWAs, the sectors that Hedera is in. How are they doing? If they start slowing down, you may want to start removing. Totally up to you how you do it. I will be selling in levels, probably on the way up to $1, over $1. Let's see. But personally, do I think anything has changed with regard to Hedera's trajectory from last November until now, this being May? Absolutely not. That's a 5-month span of time. And I have only seen great news, more interest, more projects, and more usage on Hedera than ever before in the past. I think great things for Hedera, and I think it can definitely get over $1, and it would not surprise me if it hits $2 or more. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Bye.